They can take your time, they can test your patience, they can even wound your pride, but what truly destroys you is when they take your peace. Anger burns like fire in your chest, and the smallest word, the smallest gesture, can set it off. You try to hold it back, but it leaks out, in your silence, in your bitterness, in the exhaustion that follows every confrontation. And the truth is this: it is not the other person who holds the weapon, it is your own reaction. They win not because they are stronger, but because you allow them to live rent-free inside your mind. Think about it. How many nights have you lost to replaying the same words over and over? Conversations that ended hours ago but live on inside your skull like echoes you cannot silence. How many mornings have you woken already tired because yesterday's argument is still burning in your chest? You have felt this, the helplessness of being dragged by your emotions, the shame of reacting and then regretting, the emptiness of realizing that someone else is steering your state of mind. This is not just frustration, this is slavery, and you were not born to be a slave. Carl Jung wrote that everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Hidden inside your anger is a map, a path. The very thing that seems to control you is pointing toward your own freedom, if only you have the courage to follow it. Because what you call anger is not just a burst of heat, it is a signal, it is a mirror. It is the shadow trying to get your attention. Jung's shadow is the part of you that you repress, the emotions, the desires, the truths you have been taught to hide. When someone provokes you, they are often touching the shadow. They are pressing against something you have not fully integrated, something you deny, something you fear. That is why your reaction feels so explosive. It is not only about them, it is about you. And once you see this, the game changes forever. Imagine this: someone insults you. You feel the fire rise, the instinct to defend yourself, to attack back. But instead of reacting, you pause. You ask, what wound is this touching in me? Immediately the power shifts. You are no longer the puppet pulled by strings. You are the observer, the master. And the anger, instead of consuming you, becomes fuel for understanding. This is not suppression, this is transformation. And yes, it will feel strange at first, because you have been trained to believe that reacting is strength. You were taught that silence means weakness, but Jung knew the truth. Silence is not weakness, it is power. It is the power to step back and see the entire battlefield while others swing blindly at shadows. The one who does not react is the one who cannot be controlled. If this speaks to something you feel in your bones, if you can already sense how liberating it would be to live untouched by other people's chaos, do not let this moment pass. Subscribe now, not for me, but for yourself, for the part of you that is ready to stop being pulled and start standing still. Because this is the first step to becoming unshakable. But this is only the beginning. Because understanding anger is not enough. You must learn to master it, to use it, to turn it into the foundation of inner calm, so strong that no insult, no betrayal, no manipulation can move you. In the next part, we will go deeper into Jung's map of the shadow, revealing how every irritation hides a hidden truth and how the one who embraces it becomes unstoppable. You have felt the fire. Now you will learn how to hold it in your hands. Your anger is not the enemy. Your irritation is not proof that you are broken. They are signals, red lights flashing on the dashboard of your psyche, warning you of something deeper. The problem is not that you feel anger. It is that you have been taught to either explode with it or bury it. Both are traps. One makes you destructive, the other makes you hollow. Jung offers a third path: to face it, to learn from it, to integrate it until it no longer controls you. Think of the last time someone cut you down with words or dismissed your presence, or mocked something sacred to you. The surge in your body was immediate, wasn't it? Heat in the chest, tightness in the throat, a storm in the head. And yet, that reaction is older than the moment itself. The insult was just the key. The lock was already inside you. This is the shadow, the parts of yourself you repress because they do not fit the mask you wear for the world. Maybe you repress your rage because you were told to be good. Maybe you repress your ambition because you were told it was arrogance. Maybe you repress your vulnerability because you were told it was weakness. Whatever you hide becomes shadow, and the shadow always finds a way out, through anger, through projection, through being easily provoked. When someone irritates you, they are not creating your shadow, they are revealing it. They are holding up a mirror. This is why Jung insisted that what irritates us in others tells us something essential about ourselves. If arrogance in others enrages you, ask, where is your own suppressed ambition? If dishonesty enrages you, ask, where are you not fully honest with yourself? If cruelty enrages you, ask, where do you secretly long for the strength to defend yourself but have not claimed it? The shadow is not just darkness, it is potential. It is raw power waiting to be acknowledged. The danger is that most people never see this. They live trapped in cycles of irritation, blaming everyone else for how they feel. And in doing so, they hand away their sovereignty. Imagine someone can ruin your entire day with one sentence. That is not freedom. That is slavery disguised as pride. But when you learn to pause, when you learn to ask, what is this reaction teaching me? The leash breaks. You are no longer their puppet. You are your own master. At first, this practice feels unnatural. The instinct to lash out is so strong, the temptation to defend yourself is overwhelming. But pause anyway. Even a few seconds of stillness is enough to shift the power. You move from being consumed by anger to observing it. You create space, and in that space lies freedom. And if you are hearing this now, if you feel the truth of it, hold on to this fire. Don't let it be stolen when the noise of life returns. Subscribe now, not just to hear more words, but to stay in a space that keeps reminding you of your strength. Because this is the path to becoming unshakable, and you cannot afford to forget it. Over time, something miraculous happens. The things that once triggered you lose their grip. The insult slides off like water. The manipulation bounces against a wall it cannot penetrate. You begin to see not just what others are doing, but why. You begin to see the insecurity behind their cruelty, the emptiness behind their arrogance, the fear behind their aggression. And suddenly, instead of being pulled into their storm, you stand in stillness. This is not indifference. This is mastery. Mastery does not mean you never feel anger. It means you no longer serve it. It means you channel it. You use it as fuel to create boundaries. You use it as clarity to know who belongs in your life and who does not. You use it as fire to burn away illusions instead of burning yourself. This is shadow integration, the moment when your triggers stop being chains and start being tools. And yet, this is not the end of the journey. Because integrating your shadow makes you stronger, but sovereignty demands more. To never be bothered by anyone is not just to master your anger. It is to embody a presence so steady that no one dares to move you. In the next part, we will go beyond the shadow. We will reveal how Jung's path of individuation makes you sovereign, rare, respected, untouchable. You have seen your triggers, you have faced your shadow, and now you are ready to rise into sovereignty. Something extraordinary begins to happen once you start integrating your shadow. You notice that the same words that used to pierce you no longer find a wound. The same manipulations that used to entangle you now look transparent, almost childish. The same conflicts that once left you drained now feel beneath you, as if you are watching a play you no longer have to participate in. This is not numbness. This is sovereignty. Sovereignty is not about dominating others. It is not about proving your strength through argument or aggression. Sovereignty is silent. It is the calm that does not need recognition. It is the power that bends a room without raising its voice. People sense it in your stillness, in your refusal to be moved, in the way you inhabit yourself fully. This is individuation, the arrival at your true self, no longer fragmented, no longer hidden, no longer begging for validation. And when you reach this state, the world responds differently. Some people will feel drawn to you, magnetized by a presence that makes them feel both safe and challenged. Others will recoil, unsettled because they can no longer manipulate you. They may call you cold. They may say you have changed. And they are right. You have stopped being convenient for their illusions. You have stopped shrinking so they can feel bigger. You have stopped bleeding energy so they can feed on your reactions. Let them leave. Sovereignty does not cling. Notice how time itself changes when you become sovereign. The hours you once wasted replaying conversations in your head vanish. The energy you once poured into defending yourself is now available for creation, for vision, for love that is chosen instead of performed. This is the secret Jung hinted at. Individuation is not selfishness, it is liberation. When you are whole, you stop consuming others and you stop being consumed. You begin to generate. Imagine walking into a room and not wondering what others think. Imagine standing in front of criticism and feeling curiosity instead of rage. Imagine hearing gossip about yourself and laughing softly because it no longer matters. This is not fantasy. This is the lived reality of sovereignty. The unshakable calm that comes from knowing who you are and refusing to trade it for anyone's approval. And if you are beginning to glimpse this possibility, if a part of you longs to stand in this calm, do not let the world drag you back into the old cycle. Subscribe now, not to feed an algorithm, but to anchor yourself in reminders that keep you steady, to walk with voices that will not let you forget your power, because you are no longer here to react. You are here to reign over yourself. This reign is subtle but undeniable. People feel it in the way you do not hurry. They feel it in the way you do not explain. They feel it in the way you can sit in silence without discomfort, and something in them shifts. They adjust to your presence instead of you adjusting to theirs. This is authority without effort, power without noise, presence without performance. This is also what terrifies those who once underestimated you. They depended on your anger to control you. They thrived on your reactions to feed their own emptiness. But when you stop reacting, they lose their power. When you stop giving them energy, they collapse under the weight of their own shadows. They realize too late that the person they thought they could provoke into endless battles has become untouchable. Yet sovereignty is not the final destination. It is the threshold. Because the goal is not only to stop being controlled by others, it is to live free, to create a life so undeniable that it cannot be touched by chaos. Sovereignty is the stillness. Freedom is the fire. And in the next part, you will discover how this fire transforms everything. Your relationships, your decisions, your destiny. You have integrated the shadow. You have become sovereign. And now, you are about to become free. Freedom does not come from escaping people. It does not come from shutting the world out or avoiding every possible trigger. Freedom comes when you can walk through the fire of other people's chaos and remain untouched, unshaken, unbothered. This is the final transformation, the moment when your life no longer belongs to their moods, their manipulations, or their shadows. You are no longer reactive, you are generative. You no longer mirror the world's turbulence. You radiate calm into it. What does this freedom feel like? It feels like waking up without the weight of yesterday's arguments pressing on your chest. It feels like looking at someone who once had the power to enrage you and seeing only their smallness, their fear, their hunger. and feeling no need to participate in it. It feels like having energy again, energy that once leaked into battles and resentments but is now available for your vision, your creation, your destiny. This is not a fantasy. It is the lived experience of those who walk Jung's path of individuation. They stop scattering themselves into reactions. They gather themselves into presence. And when presence becomes complete, anger dissolves, irritation evaporates, manipulation loses its grip. You are no longer food for their shadows. You have become a flame that consumes illusion. At this point, people respond to you differently. Some will test you, hoping to find the old weakness. They will push, they will provoke, they will bait. But their failure is inevitable. They cannot reach you because you no longer live at the surface. You live at your center, and your center is unshakable. Others will be drawn to you, not because you try to please them, but because your calm becomes the oxygen they did not know they were suffocating without. Your stillness becomes their mirror. Your freedom becomes contagious. And if this image stirs something in you, if you long to step fully into this freedom, pause here and make a decision. Subscribe now, not as a gesture to me, but as a commitment to yourself, because walking this path requires constant reminders. The world will try to drag you back into noise. Stay close to voices that pull you deeper into your own strength. Subscribe so you never forget. You are no longer here to react. You are here to reign. But philosophy without practice is only poetry. To live this freedom, you need tools. Jung's insights must become habits. So here are 3 practices to anchor your transformation. The first, boundaries. Practice the art of saying no without justification. No is a full sentence. Every time you explain, you leak energy. Every time you apologize for protecting yourself, you hand away your power. Start small. Decline one request today that does not serve you. Notice the freedom it gives you. The second, shadow journaling. Each time someone irritates you, instead of replaying their words, write them down. Then ask, why does this touch me? What wound does this press? What truth am I denying? Do not censor. Do not judge. Let the darkness speak. When you face it on the page, it loses the power to explode in your life. Shadow journaling transforms your triggers into teachers. The third, deliberate silence. Choose one conversation each day where you refuse to explain or defend. When accused, remain calm. When baited, remain still. Let silence do the work. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a mirror. It reflects the chaos of others back to them while you remain unmoved. Practice daily. Silence teaches your nervous system to relax in the presence of fire. With these practices, you stop being reactive and start being sovereign. You stop being consumed and start creating. And over time, you realize something profound. You no longer need to win battles because there is nothing left to fight. The war was always inside, and you have already won. This is who you become when anger no longer rules you. Not numb, not detached, but free. Free to love without fear, free to create without hesitation, free to walk into any room knowing that nothing, not insult, not betrayal, not manipulation, can move your center. You become rare. You become unforgettable. You become the calm that the chaotic world cannot touch. If you are ready for this life, speak it into existence now. Write in the comments, I choose awareness. If you are already walking this path, declare it, I am unshakable. And if you feel the fire of your true self burning brighter with every word, write, I am free. Then subscribe, because this journey does not end here. It begins here, and the next step is waiting.